This episode of Express Trading Bytes is brought to you by Promo Corner. Are you looking to support a sales campaign and reach a larger audience? Raise your brand awareness with content sponsorships. For more information, reach out to sales@promocorner.com. You are watching Express Trading Bytes. I am Brandon Petrich, the digital media director over at Promo Corner. And for part two, we have Lisa Fosdick. She is back. She is ready to talk to us more about this amazing technology that is cryptocurrency. And she's going to be talking to us about the big three today. So Lisa, take it away.
Okay, hi everybody. Thank you for tuning in. If you missed last week, I'm going to do a quick little review, but if you have a chance to go back and watch the first segment, that would be great. Quick background on me for the folks who are new to the segment this week. Been in the industry 30 years and have been involved in crypto since 2013. Happy 4th, super proud to be American and talk about American-made products just for a quick second. You might have noticed last week I have branded treats behind me. BrandedTreats.com is a new supplier in the industry, made in USA right here locally near me in Middleborough, Mass. So if you need something that's not impacted by supply chain and that you can get super quick, give them a look. It's BrandedTreats.com. But today, I really want to focus on cryptocurrency and, if you want to invest in cryptocurrency, what does that mean and what does that look like? So I need to say this disclaimer, not intended as investment advice. I myself have made many mistakes since 2013 investing. So this is really just a high-level overview of the ecosystem. We don't have time in 20 minutes to give everybody a deep dive into crypto and blockchain. And in the deck that I've provided links that will give you that backstory and will give you that deeper understanding of both blockchain and cryptocurrency. So last week, we talked about blockchain and crypto basics. Here are some of the links. I know Brandon shared the deck. But I just wanted to review why crypto is important, in my own opinion. It brings on borderless payments, changes the way commerce happens. Brandon and I talked about how this really, you can relate it to the internet in the beginning, email, cell phones, faxes, all of the things that change the way we do business and live. I believe blockchain is one of those things, and cryptocurrency and those two things together are really going to change our financial system and the way we do business. So I think it's life-changing the way the internet was, and wealth can be created in many different ways. And one of those ways is by investing in cryptocurrency. So last week we covered Bitcoin and blockchain. Today we're going to talk about altcoins, and as Brandon mentioned, the big three, and what cryptocurrency exchanges are and how to find them and get started on them. So a recap from last week, just to try to connect the dots a little bit. What is Bitcoin and what is blockchain? Well, Bitcoin's the granddaddy of cryptocurrency. It's the initial one that came on the scene. Satoshi Nakamoto invented it. We don't know who or what Satoshi is. And those transactions that take place on the Bitcoin blockchain with Bitcoin as the cryptocurrency, those are transactions that are broadcast to multiple computers to verify the transaction. So the transaction is secure because it's verified by a network of independent computers called miners. And those transactions are organized into blocks, which is why it's called blockchain, and they're chained together with a series of hashes. And those hashes are really the complex number and puzzle that the computers are solving to verify that that is numerically correct and has only been used once. Once that hash is verified, it becomes part of the blockchain that anybody can see. So just to catch you up on what we covered last week. So if you're thinking of investing in cryptocurrency and what that might look like, I want to really say it's super volatile. And I like to show this little promotional product sleep mask. I don't know if you can see it. I got this at a trade show called Token Fest back in 2018. And it says, wake me up when Bitcoin hits 20,000. Well, Bitcoin has zoomed by 20,000 up to 65,000 and has retreated back to about 33. So I feel like this is a collector's item now. And that's what the beauty of promotional products and what we love about our industry is these mementos stay around for a long time. So super volatile, know that. There's no safe bet in crypto. Just like stocks, you're gambling when you invest in cryptocurrency, in my opinion. Now, there are folks who have scientific charts and methods of tracking the market, and you can find a lot of those videos on YouTube. And if you are thinking of investing, I definitely invite you to go to YouTube, enter in crypto investing, and lots of great videos will come up for you to take a peek at. One important thing I want to mention that's been big in crypto investing conversation these days is unless you have your crypto in an IRA vehicle, you do need to pay taxes on your gains. And there are short-term and long-term gains involved in that. And there are platforms like Coin Tracker that you can subscribe to that will track all of your taxable events. So I have had to use that service to provide my earnings to the IRS. So I don't want the folks to think that this is a way to avoid paying taxes. It's not. So very important to know that. Another key way to be successful with crypto investing, in my opinion, is dollar cost averaging. So when we take a look at a couple of the platforms you can use, just like investing in stocks, you can dollar cost average and invest a small amount each week or bi-weekly or monthly into different cryptos on these exchanges. And I definitely recommend that. So different ways to invest. You can directly buy currency on an exchange, which we'll talk about. You can also buy stocks of companies, traditional stocks in companies that invest in crypto or are crypto related. For example, Riot, MicroStrategy, Square, Overstock, Coin, which is Coinbase. There's quite a few of those. So I would also invite you to Google stocks invested in crypto or in crypto vehicles. And if you want to get involved in crypto, but you want it to be more of an experience that you're familiar with, you can go to Fidelity or Ameritrade or one of the popular trading platforms, and you can buy into a traditional stock. There are also ETFs that have a mix of stocks that are invested in crypto and technology. And those you can also Google. And I will mention again, if anyone wants to reach out to me personally, I'm happy to set up a call and share some of this information one-on-one. So there are some self-directed IRA vehicles out there. A couple that I'm familiar with are Keykeeper and Kingdom, but those are not the only ones. And also Grayscale Investments, which you may have heard about in the news. They were one of the first to have vehicles where you could invest in Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Litecoin, and some other coins through Grayscale Investments. So I think I'll take a pause for a quick second and ask Brandon, do you have any questions at this point or anything you think I should touch on at this point?
No, I think that was great information that breaks it all down using terms that I think are very common now place. What I will say is if you guys do have any questions for Lisa, we do have the chats being monitored by both myself and Jessica. And so if there are any questions, please put them in there and we will make sure that we get them over to Lisa. But yeah, keep on going. I think this is fascinating.
Great. Thank you. Okay. So Brandon mentioned the big three. So this is just my opinion. Again, if you go onto YouTube or you start following different social media channels, other people will have different opinions. But I believe Bitcoin is the big daddy, the foundation. Ethereum is the workhorse of the ecosystem. And then Litecoin is an offshoot of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin was originally created in 2009. Uses peer-to-peer technology, which is that solving of the puzzle to facilitate instant payments. Litecoin is an offshoot, as I mentioned, of Bitcoin. And why I like Litecoin and I like the technology is that it's solid technology like Bitcoin. And then I also like Ethereum is one of my favorites. And I know that Ethereum is big in the news right now, launched in 2015, open source blockchain. And in my opinion, this is what enables a lot of the tools that we use in the crypto and blockchain ecosystem to make things happen, to trade currency, to buy and sell NFTs or non-fungible tokens, to do different smart contract execution. A lot of those things run on Ethereum. So those are the big three. So if you go to an exchange like Coinbase or Coinbase Pro, Gemini, Kraken, or Binance, these are the ones that you hear about a lot and that I believe have credibility and safety and have that security factor that everybody has worked so hard to develop in the crypto space. And folks in the crypto space don't really like this analogy or this comparison, but I think that when you go to your exchange, you have an experience that's very much like Fidelity or one of those exchanges. So this is Coinbase mobile on my phone. This is not my portfolio, but this is actually showing pricing for the day. And at the top, you can log in and see all assets, what's tradable on the platform, gainers and losers. And you can also go in and look at your own platform, your own portfolio. There's also education on that portfolio, on that platform. And there's also a few ways you can earn free crypto by taking some of their videos and watching some of their videos. You can actually earn some free crypto, which I think is really cool. So I originally used Coinbase in the beginning because it was one of the few that was available and it was easy to get started with. I do want to mention to folks, when you do sign up for a platform, sometimes you have to provide your passport information and your social security number. I mean, it's really know your customer. This is part of security in the industry, that you need to really validate who you are. Sometimes you need to upload a picture of your license. So I'm just mentioning that. So if you do decide to sign up on a exchange, you're mentally prepared for those questions and mentally prepared to provide, in essence, your identity. So that holds a lot of folks back from signing up on exchanges because they don't want to share that information, understandably so. And that's where you can move over to a traditional stock situation and look at some of the vehicles that are invested in crypto stocks. Gemini and Coinbase are my favorite two exchanges, my personal exchanges. Other folks like Binance or Kraken, other folks choose other platforms. Another piece of getting set up is to have a two-step authentication app on your phone. So Google Authenticator and the Authy app are the two that Gemini and Coinbase use. And both platforms are able to be used on your phone and on your laptop or your desktop. So I mentioned the big three. Those are the ones I dollar cost average with and that I have money invested in every week. And then there's a whole bunch of altcoins. Alternative coins is what altcoins means. And that's what I have fun with. I sort of take my little bit of fun money and I invest in some of these coins that can have significant ups and downs on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. Or I believe in the underlying technology and I believe that they will become more of a Litecoin or an Ethereum or a Bitcoin. So the ones on the screen, those are not chosen by me for any other reason than you've heard about them maybe in the news. I'm not suggesting them as investments or anything like that. Do your own research. I can't stress that enough. And you'll get passionate sometimes about some of the use cases. Like in particular for me, VeChain is on this list. They have developed a blockchain where you can document shipments on that blockchain. And I love that for smart contracts and how it relates to the promotional products industry. And we'll talk about that in our third segment, which is payment platforms and smart contracts for the promo world. But today we're focusing on individual coins and investing. So Dogecoin or Doggy Coin, I'm sure most people have heard of that. Started out as a joke, but on Reddit became sort of a meme-oriented altcoin and has made folks a lot of money. And because it gained so much interest, folks have actually started to build a underlying ecosystem and blockchain to go with it. So that sort of worked in reverse. So I invite you to Google these coins, these altcoins and these blockchains. It's a great smattering of different use cases. So it will give you a great foundation in understanding ways in which cryptocurrencies and blockchains are being used. So I think I'll stop again, Brandon, and check in with you.
No questions right now. You know, it's kind of funny. I didn't realize that there were so many of them out there. And actually, to tell you the truth, I had heard of Ethereum, but I thought it was more along the lines of a wallet. I didn't know it was an actual coin itself. So that's kind of cool. I like that.
Excellent. And we will touch on wallets before we end the presentation. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Awesome. All right. Keep on going.
Okay. Thank you. So we're going to touch on security for a second, because a big concern for folks is security. Is it secure? Is it not secure? Well, the underlying technology is very secure because the transactions are all validated, whether it's proof of work or proof of stake. One is validated by a network of computers and another is validated by a community. We can get into that, or you can YouTube that explanation because it's too deep to go into today. But the underlying technology is secure. Exchanges sometimes are not and can be hacked. And ones that you've probably heard of being hacked are Mt. Gox, Bitsane. Bitsane disappeared from the face of the earth. And I shared in our first segment that I actually had Ripple on Bitsane and lost a couple $100 on that platform. Lucky for me, I only had a little bit of money on it, and that was, 5 or 6 years ago. But hacks do happen. And many of the exchanges are now are insured like the FDIC. So there are some parallels between our traditional financial system and the cryptocurrency system. I think the good parts. So if you think of buying and selling crypto as a comparison to buying and selling stocks, I think that'll help you understand that ecosystem a little better. And if you think of Gemini or Coinbase as a trading platform like Fidelity or Ameritrade, that will help you as well sort of understand what's happening in the system. So security has become, or insuring in deposits on exchanges is starting to happen. Now, I do want to mention seed phrases or your personal keys. When you set up your wallet on a wallet is where you hold your crypto. On your exchange, you're going to get a seed phrase or a secret phrase or a key. Different platforms label it in different ways. But what's important about that is that you write it down, you print it. I'm a crazy person, so I have it written down in several places. I have it in my fireproof lockbox in my basement. I mean, I have it in several different places, so if something happens to it, I always know where I can find it. There's also YouTube videos on that, on how do you keep your seed phrase or your key safe? And then if God forbid something happens to you, how do you give access to those to a family member? So again, that's, you know, much deeper than what we have time for today. Want to mention wallets, because wallets, you'll hear that phrase as you start to get connected to this ecosystem. There are wallets. You may have several wallets. I have a MetaMask wallet, which is a non-hosted wallet, meaning it's online. And Ethereum is traded quite frequently in and out of MetaMask wallets to buy things like NFTs, which we can talk about in our third segment. And then there are hosted wallets by the exchanges. And these are great wallets to have. Binance, Coinbase, Gemini, all have off exchange wallets where you can keep your crypto safe. And there are also some desktop wallets. So those are all digital wallets. And then there's also what are called hardware wallets or cold storage wallets. And I have been chastised many times over making sure that I have a hardware wallet, and I do. So it's important to have a hardware wallet where you store all of your crypto off the exchanges. So this is crypto you don't need to get to quickly, that you just want to keep safe and protected. So hardware wallets, if I were to make a comparison, are like a little piece of a USB. And I show the piggy one because it's like a piggy bank. The way to think about it is it's a digital piggy bank to store your seed phrases in your cryptocurrency. So that is really important to be aware of. Again, YouTube videos, many, many great YouTube videos on how to choose and put your crypto into a hard cold storage wallet. I want to now segue into places you can find information or places you can join a community to learn more about this ecosystem. Clubhouse is a fairly new social media channel where you are invited to participate. And I know a lot of folks in the promo corner ecosystem like Charity, and I know Jerry Barker and his crew have a Clubhouse room where they talk about NFTs and cryptocurrency. Charities doesn't, but I know Jerry does. And if you would like a list of great rooms to join on Clubhouse, please reach out to me. Discord is a channel that I'm not that familiar with. Full disclosure, I'm still trying to learn it. Telegram, Twitter, we're all familiar with. Reddit is an amazing platform, and that's really where Dogecoin or Dogecoin, or however you choose to pronounce it, gained traction, was on Reddit. And then YouTube, I think, is one of the best places to learn how to execute a lot of the things that we've talked about today. I'm just going to end, because I think we're almost out of time, with this term of DeFi, decentralized finance. And I'd love to invite everybody to Google that before we meet next time. It's a global open alternative to the current financial system. And it's complex, and there's a lot related to it, but it does come into play into cryptocurrency and blockchain significantly. So I just invite you to check that out. And I have a couple links to some BlockFi networks that have some great education available to teach you about what that is. So I'm going to stop my share here, Brandon, and come back to you.
Awesome. No, I think this is, so we talked a little bit off air right before we got on this. And one of the things that I'm excited for is is this is all fresh and new. So a lot of people may just be like, oh, I don't have time for that right now. But you might have said that in 1978 when somebody came and talked to you about a personal computer called Apple or Microsoft. And if you would have just listened to somebody for 5 minutes and invested in them in the 1990s, you'd have been a millionaire. So who knows what's going to happen in the next decade or 2 decades with this whole cryptocurrency, and the way that it is actually a way to create worth and to create wealth in the future digitally. We are living our lives almost 100% right now on the internet. At least last year we were, because we were told to be in lockdown. So this is a great way to stay on top of what is current, because you do have to constantly be reading about it. If you see those guys, those movies like Wall Street and Wolf of Wall Street, they're always reading something. They're always looking at something. They're always researching what's going on with the market. You have to do the same thing with Bitcoin and Ethereum and Lite and Doge and all of them, any of them. You have to stay on top of what is actually current and what is going on. So I think it is awesome that you are taking the time to break this down for us, the promo industry. And I love that you used promo in one of your slides, your USB piggy. That is fantastic.
Well, and I will say, for a smart distributor, lots of business in the crypto space, guys. Somebody go get it and then send us some orders at Branded Treats. But there's a lot of business to be had. And that's why I want to talk about crypto payments in our next segment.
That is fantastic. I love that. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Lisa, for taking time out of your day and creating this amazing presentation for us. You guys, this is an hour-long presentation that she normally gives, that she is breaking down for us in 3 different segments. She did allude to it in the beginning, so did I. We did have a segment last week, which was on like an overall view of blockchaining and kind of using Bitcoin as the example for blockchaining. And then today, we talked about cryptocurrency and the big 3. And then next time we'll talk about how it actually turns into payments and what that kind of looks like. We do have her deck up on the link in the comments from the last one. When we are done here, I will put the deck again in a link in the comments on this one. So you can always go back and check out all these slides and click on all those fantastic links that she does have in this presentation. But that is going to do it for Express Trading Bikes today. We will see you guys next Thursday.
Have a great 4th, everybody. Thanks, Brandon.
Oh, that's right. Have a great 4th.